Hello, my name is Benjamin Sowers, and this is my high and low incidence disabilities research project. It consists of a PowerPoint, maybe 11 or 12 slides. And my first screencast, so excited. Let's start with low incidence. I chose to do autism. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, autism is a developmental disorder that affects communication and behavior. Individuals with autism have difficulty interacting with people, and this can really hinder their educational, social, really their entire life. I had the chance to work with an individual with autism for about 3 years when I was an undergraduate student. It was a great opportunity. I really enjoyed getting to know him. It was difficult for him. He had quite severe autism, and yeah. Prevalence 2 to 5 per 10,000 according to our text for this class. It's more commonly diagnosed in males. Unknown causes. It is truly one of the great mysteries of the last few decades. No shortage of controversy surrounding autism and its causes and how to treat it. I'm not going to take a deep dive into any of that, but we don't know exactly where it comes from. Therapies, another controversial. ABA, I know, is controversial in some circles. Other circles swear by it. Basically, individuals, we can. If I was going to sum up ABA in a nutshell, it's we can see people's behavior. Therefore, if we can change behavior, then we can change individuals. So that has a lot to do with positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and it has been heavily applied to individuals with autism. Medication can be used, but this is more to treat the symptoms that are associated with autism, including aggression and depression, and other symptoms could also be treated through speech therapy and physical therapy. Wide-ranging. Autism is huge. It's very difficult to define. I read a very interesting book a few months ago. It was called The Story of Autism, and it's kind of a history of autism, especially in the United States. It touches on the UK, and it was quite eye-opening to just see how large and how kind of slippery the definition is. But some basic ways to define it is impaired verbal and reasoning skills, uneven academic performance. These are things that are going to affect individuals with autism in the classroom. I got some resource for parents there. Autism Speaks. I know that's an ABA organization, so could be helpful. Some people might not like it. The National Institute for Mental Health. That's great. They've got great resources. What does it look like in the classroom? So students with autism are going to be a little bit more socially awkward than other students. They're going to have difficulty maintaining friendships, maintaining relationships with other students. They have trouble picking up on nonverbal cues. All of this really is hindering their social interaction. They could have difficulty comprehending abstract ideas. They're more of straightforward, maybe could be considered black and white thinkers a lot of the time. And they can be very inflexible. They like routine, and if things deviate, then they could become upset and very uncomfortable. I remember the student that I worked with, we had to have routines, and if things changed, then it would be difficult for him to adjust, very difficult. Even the slightest things, like instead of coming home and having him shave, but if we went out to eat somewhere, then after that, coming home the routine might be a little bit off, and it could take some extra time. Strategies teachers could use, positive reinforcement, so this is ABA kind of stuff. When students do well, encourage them and show the students that their work and their behavior is good. Organized classroom procedures, not coming in every day and having something completely different, having some structure, and creating a safe environment. I mean, both of those things can be used in general in the classroom, but could be especially important for students with autism. For my high incidence, I chose to do ADHD. ADHD, as defined by the National Institute of Mental Health, is a brain disorder marked by ongoing pattern of inattention, hyperactive, and impulsivity. So this is another. I don't know why I chose to do two of the most controversial ones, but this is another controversial thing. People talking about where is it coming from? Is it overdiagnosed? Is it underdiagnosed? How much hyperactivity is natural in students? I'm not going to try to dive into all that, but it is one of our high incidence disabilities. Approximately 3 to 7% of school-age population, according to our text. Again, this one is more diagnosed in boys, more frequently diagnosed in boys than it is girls. Same with autism. A lot of people think that's simply we are looking for it as one thing when it could be manifesting itself in different ways in different genders. And it's hard to know. We need further research. Unknown causes could be hereditary, could be neurological, could be environmental, could be all three. Probably is all three. Therapy, behavior therapy, right? Positive reinforcement. Medication. I know an individual quite closely who is an adult and has quite severe ADHD, and medication has absolutely changed his life. Before medication, his ADHD was completely unmanageable. After medication, you can still tell, and he would still tell you that he has difficulties, but much more manageable. Medication is not always the answer, but in some cases it definitely is a huge help. They have trouble with sustained attention, forgetting daily activities, forgetting small things. Where did I put this? Where did I put my homework? I forgot my homework. So we need to make sure that classrooms are very organized. We need to make sure that students know exactly what we're doing, what their homework is, such and those things. We have the CDC, Center for Disease Control, and the National Institute of Mental Health, both great resources. In the classroom, right, we got lack of attention. Students could be disruptful. They could forget their homework a lot. They disturbing other students by their hyperactivity. A lot of fidgeting. Could be jumping from one topic to another, however their mind is jumping. In order to help students in the classroom, behavioral rewards, good behavior, reward good behavior. UDL, right? I mean, kind of what we're learning about in this class, differentiating instruction, differentiating the way those students can represent what they're learning, giving students with ADHD the types of activities that they can thrive doing. RTI, response to intervention, helping to identify students with ADHD early and keeping them on track and helping them as much as we can through UDL framework. Here's my references. I used a lot from our text, a lot of stuff from governmental organizations, and yeah, thank you so much.